We've all seen movies we'd happily rewatch 100 times, but some films, once is more than enough. These are the ones so disturbing, so heavy that just sitting through them once feels like a challenge you never want to repeat. By the by, I'm the movie guy and let's start this list. Let's start with a film that doesn't rely on monsters, gore, or cheap scares, but instead shows us the horror of reality. At number 10 we have Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream. On the surface, it's a story about 4 people chasing their dreams, a mother who just wants to fit into her favorite dress again, a young couple dreaming of a better life, and a friend chasing quick money. But those dreams quickly spiral into obsession and addiction, pulling each character into a nightmare they can't escape. What makes this movie so disturbing isn't just the drug use, it's the hopelessness. The rapid editing, the suffocating score by Clint Mansell, and the brutal downward spiral of every character leave you devastated. By the time the credits roll, you don't feel entertained, you feel hollow. And that's exactly why most people never want to see it twice. At number 9, we're going to South Korea, where Bong Joon-ho made his feature debut with Barking Dogs Never Bite. On the surface, it's a dark comedy about an unemployed academic slowly unraveling in his apartment complex. But the film quickly crosses into unsettling territory as his frustration with life gets projected onto the neighborhood's dogs. The most infamous moment, and the one that makes viewers squirm, is the shocking scene of a dog hanging from a rooftop. It's staged with an unnerving mix of absurdity and cruelty, and it leaves you questioning whether you should be laughing or horrified. What makes this film so hard to revisit is the way it blurs comedy and discomfort. Beneath its humor lies a portrait of human desperation and pettiness at their ugliest. It's not graphic like other films on this list, but its offbeat cruelty lingers in your memory long after. At number 8, we have the most infamous title ever put to film, Cannibal Holocaust. Released in 1980, it was marketed as a shocking survival story about a documentary crew lost in the Amazon. What it really delivers, though, is a barrage of cruelty that's almost impossible to sit through. Yes, the violence against humans is brutal and graphic, but what truly makes this film unwatchable are the very real animal torture scenes. Unlike staged effects, these moments show genuine harm inflicted on animals, and they're disturbing in a way that can't be justified by artistic intent. Adding to that, the movie itself just isn't very good. The story drags, the characters are shallow, and the shock factor feels more exploitative than meaningful. For many viewers, Cannibal Holocaust isn't just disturbing, it's pointless, making it one of those films you'll regret ever trying to revisit. Number 7 takes us to a very different kind of horror, one that's unsettling not because of monsters or gore, but because of innocence lost. The Innocents, a Norwegian film from 2021, follows a group of children who discover they have mysterious powers. At first it feels almost magical, until the play turns cruel. What makes this film so disturbing is the way it strips away the safety we associate with childhood. These aren't adults choosing violence, they're kids experimenting with evil acts as casually as they'd play with toys. Watching a child use their powers to harm, manipulate, or even kill is deeply uncomfortable because it feels like watching the corruption of something pure. The slow pace, the eerie sound design, and the unsettling performances make it impossible to look away. But once you've seen children commit such acts on screen, it's not something you'll want to watch twice. At number 6, we have one of the most harrowing war films ever made, Come and See. Directed by Elim Klimov, it follows a young Belarusian boy who joins the resistance during World War II, only to be dragged into a nightmare of violence, cruelty, and destruction. What makes Come and See so disturbing isn't just the brutality of the Nazi occupation, it's the way the film forces us to experience it through the eyes of a child. As villages burn, atrocities unfold, and humanity is stripped away, we watch the boy's face age before our eyes, his innocence shatter scene by scene. The film's realism is suffocating. There's no Hollywood gloss, no sense of comfort, only chaos, despair, and raw human suffering. Come and See is a masterpiece, yes, but it's also so emotionally devastating that most viewers can't bear to endure it more than once. Halfway through our list, we land on a film that's as unforgettable as it is unbearable. Gaspar Noé's Irreversible. Told in reverse chronology, the movie explores themes of love, vengeance, and hate, but all of that is overshadowed by one scene. About midway through the film's timeline, there is a 9-minute assault sequence shot in a single, unbroken take. It's raw, prolonged, and deeply uncomfortable to watch, not because of gore or stylization, but because of its sheer realism. Noe refuses to cut away, forcing the audience to sit through every second of it. Even if you can appreciate the film's experimental structure and technical brilliance, that one scene defines the experience. For many viewers, it leaves such a lasting scar that returning to the film feels impossible. Irreversible isn't just disturbing, it's punishing and one of the hardest films to ever sit through twice. At number 4, we have a film that feels less like horror and more like pure human cruelty. The Girl Next Door is based on the real-life case of Sylvia Likens, one of the most disturbing crimes in American history. The movie follows two sisters left in the care of a relative, only for their state to turn into a nightmare of abuse and torture. What makes this film so hard to watch isn't the acting or the cinematography, it's the sheer brutality inflicted on the girls. The violent scenes are prolonged, intimate, and unbearably cruel, leaving you with a sickening sense of helplessness as the characters suffer. Unlike over-the-top horror, The Girl Next Door feels disturbingly real. It's a film that doesn't let you escape the ugliness of what humans are capable of, and that's why most people can never bring themselves to watch it twice. At number 3, we have Mike Flanagan's adaptation of Stephen King's Gerald's Game. What begins as a seemingly straightforward thriller, a couple trying to spice up their marriage in a remote cabin, quickly turns into a nightmare where the husband suddenly dies, leaving his wife handcuffed to the bed with no way out. What makes Gerald's Game disturbing isn't just the psychological tension of being trapped and helpless, but the way the film forces you to endure her physical and emotional torment. Hallucinations blur with reality, trauma from her past resurfaces, and the infamous degloving scene where she tries to escape the cuffs is one of the most graphic and stomach-churning moments in modern horror. It's brilliantly acted and deeply unsettling, but the mix of claustrophobia, trauma, and body horror make it a film most people can only endure once. For number 2, we turn to Lars von Trier's Antichrist, a film that's as visually stunning as it is psychologically scarring. On the surface, it's about a grieving couple retreating to a cabin in the woods after the loss of their child. But instead of healing, their grief twists into violence, guilt, and madness. The movie is drenched in atmosphere, haunting slow motion, surreal imagery, and raw, intimate performances from William Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg. But what makes it so disturbing are the scenes of extreme sexual violence and shocking acts of self-mutilation. Von Trier spares nothing, forcing the audience to witness moments that are as graphic as they are symbolic. It's a film that leaves you unsettled long after it ends. Some praise it as a bold piece of art, others dismiss it as pure provocation, but either way, Antichrist is nearly impossible to endure more than once. Topping the list is Michael Haneke's Funny Games, a film that doesn't just show you violence, it makes you complicit in it. On the surface, it's a simple home invasion story. Two polite young men torment a family trapped in their vacation house. But what makes Funny Games so uniquely disturbing is the way it toys with the audience. The violence isn't stylized or cinematic, it's slow, cold, and drawn out. Haneke lingers on the suffering, refuses to give you relief, and even breaks the fourth wall, forcing you to feel like an accomplice to the cruelty. There's no catharsis, no justice, no escape, just a raw experience of watching a family torment in real time. Funny Games isn't just hard to rewatch. For many, it's hard to finish. It's not a horror movie you enjoy, but an experiment in making the audience confront their own appetite for violence. So there you have it, 10 films you'll never want to watch twice. Which one have you seen and what would you add to this list? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more. Until next time, keep on watching movies, guys.